According to Officer McLean, being in a gang here doesn't guarantee safety. Gangs will often beat up their own members as a punishment. They call the violent acts sanctions. Inmates in this cell are just blowing off some steam, down and dirty in Max 8. But this is what those gang sanctions could look like.
If you don't follow up on those orders, you put in violations, you have some kind of sanction placed against you. Whether it may be 6 minutes, no cover up, which means they beat and punch you for 6 minutes, you can't cover your face, you just have to sit there and take it. And violations all the way up to death.
McLean pays close attention to the troublemakers, like Gervais Hubbard, aka Crazy Folk, who's on his way back to the hole.
Fam, what's going on, man? It's your boy E.I. the King, and this is the Incarceration Podcast. Today, I'm doing a reaction video of the worst county jail in the state of Tennessee, the Shelby County Corrections in Memphis. But before we go ahead and check out this video, man, y'all do me a favor, like this video, subscribe to this channel if you haven't, and let's go ahead and check out the worst county jail in the state of Tennessee in Memphis, the Shelby County Corrections County Jail.
A band of prisoners serves hard time in Shelby County Division of Correction. Built in 1928, this prison houses inmates for no longer than 12 years. At Shelby County, a team of just 7 men spearheads the battle to keep gangs under control and contraband out. They're known as the Gang Intelligence Unit, or GIU. Back in 2004, Lieutenant Tony Moore was the only man assigned to tackle the gang problem.
Make sure that you lay there and do not move or do not
But
talk.
Moore knew he needed help to fight the growing gang issue and crush their covert operations. The 6 officers he handpicked to work with him now make up the Gang Intelligence Unit.
We all come from different backgrounds. We all got different amount of years at this institution, but when it come down to this unit being a Gang Intelligence Unit, we're one. We're a team. I know we got the side door. Yeah, I had to go to the side door. Yeah. Those gang officers, I know they got my back, and I got their back on a daily basis.
This prison is home to over 30 different gangs, and contraband is a constant danger. So GIU gears up every day for an ongoing hunt. It's a lot of ground to cover. Spanning 38 acres, there are 13 buildings, including minimum, medium, and maximum security dorms. Max 8, J Building. These guys have the highest security level at Shelby. In October 2008, rival gang tensions here erupted into a violent battle. Crip and Vice Lord gangbangers were arguing over commissary items when things spiraled out of control. Crip gang member Chris Askew, aka Baby Wink, watched the violence unfold.
They was like, they want to get him up. Get him up this fight, you know what I'm saying? So they got him up. And then one thing led to another, you know what I'm saying? And then one of my homeboys hit him in the head, and then bam.
This surveillance footage captures the brawl moving quickly outside the small cell on the top tier. Inmates jump over the railing and onto the first level. They pull out weapons, and in an instant, it's mayhem. Jarek Brown, from the rival Vice Lord gang, was in the dorm, but tried to stay out of the fight.
I wasn't in my right mind because I was shocked. I ain't never seen nothing like that go on.
Within minutes, nearly the entire block is involved in the riot. It's Crips versus Vice Lords, and the Crips are outnumbered.
It was scary, man. My heart beating, I'm trying to dodge. People hit me in the head with a shank that long, you know what I'm saying?
Officers arrive and break up the riot.
We couldn't tell who had been stabbed and where they had been stabbed, but there was blood on them.
In all, 5 inmates were seriously injured. in their attempt to prevent gang
All right, look, so for the most part, bro, I always say on this channel, I feel like prisons are way more dangerous and violent than county jails, but there's definitely some big metropolitan cities to where the county jails are just as bad as the state's prisons, if not worse. And I think maybe just by assumption, I would say I've never been there. All the convicts watching from Tennessee, if you've been to this Memphis County jail, let me know. But this county jail looks like one of them ones, you know what I mean, to where it's just as dangerous and violent as the prison is in the state, just because I know Memphis is already a very dangerous city. So let me know if that's accurate, if I'm correct. But also too, if you're from a different state and if you think that your county jail is just as bad as the state's prisons or worse, let me know what county jail and what state and put it in the comments, fam.
and stop illegal activity. Officers' best weapon is the element of surprise.
Have a seat on your bunk. Have a seat on your bunk. Hang it up. Hands behind your head. Hands behind your head. Lay back. Lay back. All right, let's start right here at the top.
Today, Lieutenant Moore leads his team to 12 Block, one of the most gang-infested dorms.
No one is to talk unless you're being spoken to. No one is to move unless you are being told to move. Now, if you got a problem following those directives, I will give you something to make you change your mind. This is what's gonna happen. Gang officers are gonna go from bump to bump. They're gonna get you up. You're gonna go to the shower area. You're gonna be strip searched. Once you get strip searched, they're gonna take you out to the hallway where you will sit down on the floor until we get this dorm completely searched.
The gang unit shakes down the dorm, looking for any contraband. This includes gang paraphernalia, cigarettes, marijuana, and handmade prison knives, known as shanks.
If we see somebody moving that's down here in this area, like this guy just got through moving down there with the bag, he doing something. So it means he probably got something to go get his ass now. Excuse my profanity, but. Come here, boss man. Is you moving with your bag down here? I told you not to move.
Inmates must line up for a strip search.
I don't like stripping for no grown man. Total disrespect, you know what I'm saying? Like trying to take my manhood or something, con looking at my body. That's what it is, you know? They the police. Pigs. I don't like pork.
Take everything off.
Body cavities are a common hiding place.
We do a personalized search. We make them squat and cough, so if they got anything up their retina, it'll fall out.
All right, put them on.
Back in the bunk area, officers search through inmates' personal belongings.
See, just watching videos like this, obviously prison sucks, bro. You know what I mean? Completely terrible. I wouldn't wish one day upon my worst enemy. That's the obvious, right? But, man, watching these videos, bro, seeing shakedowns make me despise and just be disgusted with just my experience being incarcerated, bro. Moments like this is just a reminder of how terrible it is to be incarcerated, dog. Like when they do this in the middle of the night, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and you're in the day room for hours getting strip searched and having to sit out there and everybody's real close to each other until they're done, tearing up all your property and have to put everything back. Man, just being under the authority and the oppression and just the strict ruling governing powers that be of the prison, dog, is not the way to live, bro. Completely sucks. But I want to talk real briefly about suitcasing. Obviously, that's a big thing. If you don't know what suitcasing means, it means, you know, putting some contraband where the sun don't shine, you know. So that's a big thing in prison, and you'd be surprised the amount of people who do suitcase. But for the most part, like, white boys are known as like the ones who suitcase. So I always heard stories, because I only went to a work camp one time. I was only there for about maybe 3 months, only went outside the gate like once or twice. But I've always heard stories that at work camps that, you know, the white boys are for the most part the ones who smuggle things back in. They're always suitcasing the tobacco or drugs or phones or whatever. But that's also a means of extortion. Some of the white boys I heard who don't get money, I just hear this from hearsay and from stories of homies who've been to work camps, because like I said, only been there for like 3 months before I went to work, at least my last bid. But I heard that there's like extortion against some like weak white boys who wouldn't stick up for themselves. If they didn't have any money, you know, some of the gangs would like force them to suitcase things things to smuggle back into the prison. You know, so that's crazy. Number one, just the fact that you're sticking something up there in the first place and you're being made to do it. But then on top of that, like, yo, you're risking getting an outside charge and more time. And you're not even doing it for the hustle. You're being made to do it. So that's crazy. If you guys got any crazy stories about suitcasing and things like that, let me hear them and drop them in the comments, fam.
Officer Richard Farrow makes a potentially deadly find in an inmate's locker box.
It has the dial missing off of it. And when you have something like this, a real common thing that they do is they'll put them in the sock and hit you with it.
Swinging the right way and hitting the person in the right spot can kill you dead instantly.
A few feet away, Officer Danny McLean makes another significant discovery. Small but dangerous shanks hidden in a favorite spot.
What we got? He got a shank. He possessed of a shank.
The shanks were found in Gary Crawford's shoe. McLean begins to escort the inmate out of the dorm. But as Crawford packs his personal lockbox, another hidden shank falls to the ground.
Had a knife, didn't it? What the script say do it again? Come on, bro.
With not one, but two shanks found, GIU has plenty of evidence to bust Crawford. But they're not finished. They move to the beds on the other side of the block, leaving no stone unturned.
You can go and pat him down right now, Watts. Just to make sure he ain't got no weapon on him. Right.
Officers have uncovered something suspicious.
Could be some marijuana.
Or it could be loose tobacco.
There's just as much fake marijuana go through the jail as real marijuana. You know, they constantly have little games to try to cheat each other out of money too by giving them fake marijuana.
The support team steps in.
You always test regardless. It might turn up positive, some might turn around and be mixed with something else.
This test will determine if it's tobacco or marijuana.
You break one tube and agitate it for about a minute. If it turned purple, that's a positive test.
If the leaves contain tetrahydrocannabinol, or THC, the main chemical in marijuana, then the acid solution will react and change color.
Already turning purple, positive for THC.
The marijuana was found in this inmate's boot. 39-year-old Donnie Sisson is no stranger to these sorts of charges. He's been in and out of prison since he was 14 years old and is serving time for aggravated burglary. But he denies the pot is his.
Somebody put some dope in my shoe, man. I mean, I smoke dope, but if it was mine, I'd say it was mine. You know, I've had dope on me. I'll tell you, I had dope on me, man. I had no dope on me at all. I do smoke dope, and I do smoke dope in jail. I will not deny that. But if I was going to have any dope on me, it wouldn't be no 1 or 2 joints. It'd be an ounce of dope at a time. That's the way I do. You can ask anybody who knows me the way I jail, man. I ain't small time, I'm big time.
He will be charged with possession and go to the disciplinary board to hear his case. If Sisson is found guilty, his punishment will likely be time in the hole, where offenders are locked down in a 2-man cell for 23 hours a day. And the hole is not where these guys want to be. Next, on Behind Bars, a maximum security inmate fights the system.
I'm gonna kill some though.
And later, hostile inmates cope with being locked up in the hole. Less than 30 minutes from downtown Memphis stands the Shelby County Division of Correction. Here, the Gang Intelligence Unit, or GIU, leads the charge against violence in a prison plagued with gangs. Lieutenant Tony Moore heads up the 7-man team.
We know what our job function is. We're here to do our job as a unit. And when we go out to do things together, we do it as one.
5 days a week, they monitor the intake area. This is the first stop for new arrivals.
You guys, listen up. I'm Officer Bradley with the gang unit. I'm not gonna tell you guys how you're supposed to do this jail. You guys been here, some of you guys been in and out, so you know how this works.
It could take most of the day to process them. Everyone gets an ID card, medical tests, eye exams, and an electronic scan of fingerprints.
The only problems I have, pretty much you got anybody with amputees, fingerprints that have been messed up because they use drugs, whatever, smoking crack, burns their fingertips.
Then, the gang intelligence unit gets their turn. Everyone who comes in must reveal if they are gang affiliated.
My question to you is, have you ever been affiliated? Never have been? Never in your life? Mary Anderson, right? I got you down as Crip. Inside of our gang affiliation book, we got him down as being tagged as a Crip. This book contains all of the information about gang members that has already been tagged. That you?
I denounced it a long time ago.
You denounced it a long time? That's what I asked you, had you ever been a Crip? You got any tats that represent anything on you? Let me see them.
If a new inmate doesn't own up to being in a gang, his tattoos often give him away. According to Watts, this information is for their own safety.
Understand, this is not something that's going to cause your time to be prolonged or anything like that.
GIU estimates that about 90% of all inmates here at Shelby are gang affiliated. The prison has taken steps to keep gang members from attacking one another. After the 2008 gang fight between the Crips and Vice Lords, the prison took a hard look at their policies for the maximum security dorms. The most glaring example, the new cages added to what used to be an open recreation area. Inmates shouldn't have had shanks, but they also shouldn't have been out of their cells.
These guys, all the doors are supposed to remain locked, but you see some of them did something to the doors and opened the doors up.
Inmates will jam the door lock and get out of their cells to roam the tiers freely.
They had a lot of paper inside the doors. It alters the mechanism so it won't lock.
All right, so in y'all's county jail, could y'all shimmy the locks on the door? I know there's a million ways to do it. I think probably the most common one is people just take a small piece of like a bed sheet, and you got to have someone from the outside like pull it out, or you can like push it out, and some people even be like sucking through the crack like that can like, you know, somehow get the string back inside the crack of the door to where you got both sides on one side, and here's the lock right here. And then you just keep sliding it and pulling it, and it'll eventually like unlock the lock. But it's all dependent upon what facility you're at, how the locks are used and things like that. I know people got a million different type of ways, but man, I done seen kids break out of their cells, man, hundreds of times at different facilities all throughout the years of my incarceration. But let me know if you ever did it, and if so, how did you do it? Was it in jail, in prison, and was it done often or not really? Let me know and put it in the comments, fam.
It's stuck between there. This lock's supposed to be out this far. The paper stuck in pushes it back. Now the door is locked.
Keeping doors locked is one thing. Keeping tabs on the inmates themselves is a bigger challenge.
Y'all need to do something about this, man.
You never know what somebody might be going through or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And it just take that one. You know what I'm saying? Because it's jail.
GIU officer Danny McLean makes daily rounds of his assigned dorm.
What's up, man? You all right? I'm checking guys to see if they got any injuries. You have a lot of guys that'll be assaulted and they'll lay in bed to keep the officers from seeing it.
According to Officer McLean, being in a gang here doesn't guarantee safety. Gangs will often beat up their own members as a punishment. They call the violent acts sanctions. Inmates in this cell are just blowing off some steam, down and dirty in Max 8. But this is what those gang sanctions could look like.
If you don't follow up on those orders, you put in violations, you have some kind of sanction placed against you, whether it may be 6 minutes, no cover up, which means they beat and punch you for 6 minutes, you can't cover your face, you just have to sit there and take it. And violations all the way up to death.
McLean pays close attention to the troublemakers, like Gervais Hubbard, aka Crazy Folk, who's on his way back to the hole.
I've been out here for 2.5 years. You know, sometimes I have problems, and you know,
I go through I'm on an aggravated robbery charge.
A gangster disciple, or GD. 21-year-old Hubbard fights on a regular basis. That's what put him in maximum security in the first place.
A lot of times you have to take a couple of officers in the building to go in and get him because he's kicking on the doors, threatening staff. He's a piece of work.
Hubbard takes antidepressants to control his destructive behavior, which includes self-mutilation.
He's more of a cutter. There's a lot of cutting to his arms.
I'll stab myself, and I'll cut myself about 100 times. I cut my throat once, I cut my stomach. And, you know, my arm, thinking why is my arm trying to bust vessels, you know, things like that. It's crazy, you know. It's my way out.
But sometimes he doesn't take his meds.